Hello sailors and builders, I'm Scott Hershey, violin maker and builder of Perfecto, a Chesapeake light craft design pocket ship that I modified and built from plans. Welcome to part 3 of the final finish. We left off on the part 2 video with flipping the boat. We are now ready to move on to the bottom preparation with sanding and glassing. It's important to make sure the bottom surface is smooth and clean before the taping and glassing process begins. Here I am cleaning up the bottom of the keel. Now, with all of the filleting and sanding completed, I primer coated the raw wood with epoxy. I decided to make a small modification to the keel. I installed a strip of bronze plate where the bottom of the rudder and keel meet. Having been a victim of snagging crab traps in the past, this preventer should help in keeping them at bay. It's time now to begin the taping process. I used a heavy glass tape in the high wear areas of the boat and used regular glass tape on all other seams. Here's how the finished taped and sanded bottom look. We now move on to the glassing of the entire bottom. Now this is where careful planning and fitting are important. Use painter's tape to hold the glass in place. Cut the fabric to fit just about 3 to 4 inches below the turn of bilge. Overlap the seams of your fabric about 3 inches. And only do one side at a time. Now, fold the glass fabric back over the keel and then roll a coat of epoxy directly to the wood substrate. Now, with some help from a friend, lay the glass back over one panel at a time and smooth out your glass. Once both sides are completely cured, do the same for the keel and the side panels. When all of the epoxy is cured, sand everything down smooth and primer coat the entire bottom of your boat. Once the primer coat was dry, I installed my 1/2 inch thick aluminum centerboard. Time to strike the water line on both sides of the boat. First, the boat needs to sit level on both side to side and end to end. I then had a construction buddy help me strike my water line. He was using some kind of sonar device. This tool allowed us to strike the water line on both sides of the boat at once. The hull is now ready for sanding, taping, and final painting. Here I'm using the roll and tip method of painting on my hull. I have also primed the area of the bottom where a darker green will go. Adding the bootstrap is a tricky matter because it becomes wider at the bow of the boat. Keep moving the painter's tape up or down until the stripe looks good when viewed from the side. From here, I move to painting the darker blue bottom and the final finish of the enamel white to complete the hull. Here's how the final finished hull looked before flipping her back up. Now it's time to call back in my flipping crew and begin the careful process of getting Perfecto back on her feet. Since most of the top sides were finished prior to the first flip, I only had to do some minor touch-ups and paint the cabin top before the rigging process begins. Once Perfecto was turned safely upright, we lifted her onto the trailer where she will remain until launch day. Here are some shots of Perfecto perched proudly on her new trailer. I will now paint her cabin top and do some final prep before the rigging process begins. Many viewers have requested some additional interior photos of Perfecto. I kept all of the electronics to a bare minimum. Small battery, small switch panel, having only a mask light and running lights to deal with. Sleeping quarters are a little small, but yet roomy, and there's plenty of storage space on this little vessel. Of course, no boat would be complete without its wine rack, and the louvered doors have an acrylic insert to keep out the elements when needed. Well, Perfecto is finally finished, and now it's time to get her launched. I chose to launch her during the Mid-Atlantic Small Craft Festival held in St. Michaels, Maryland, a quaint little Eastern Shore town. This is a major small craft festival where Perfecto took the coveted People's Choice Award during this event. Here I'm standing with John Harris, the owner of CLC Boats and designer of the original Pocketship. Here she is sitting very pretty in her first slip, fully rigged and ready to sail. I was very impressed with her first shakedown cruise. Winds were calm, but she sails great and quick on her feet. After a great time at the St. Michael's show, we decided to trailer Perfecto 387 miles to a wooden boat show in Manteo, North Carolina. This is where I keep Lazy Lucy, a catboat that I built and slip at the town docks. Here's where Perfecto won the Owner-Built Sailboat Award during this event. This was a great time to get caught up with family and friends and do some more sailing. Winds were very calm during our stay, but we still enjoyed getting out on the water for several days. I added a few short videos of Perfecto under sail. Unfortunately, winds were calm during most of our sailing days. Calm winds are great for sorting out rigging issues, passenger seating, and line handling. So, in a way, it all worked out in the end.
Fred Bennett's Sabat. What? Whatever you want to do. Oh, let's sail. No, we're good.
Here are some final photos of some family and friends aboard Perfecto. This boat is a great little vessel to sail, and yes, it's small, but quick on her feet and pretty on the water. We look forward to many more sails in the future. Thank you all for joining us for this 2-year project build. We hope you have enjoyed our building and sailing adventure. Happy sailing!